All right, everybody, welcome back to Adventure Moto Southwest. Today's new bike day, and as you can see, I'm purchasing a CRF 300 Rally. Brand new 2024, and I actually thought it might be interesting to show you guys what it looks like before it's unpacked. Because I don't know, I always like stuff like this just to see how they ship it, and so I will walk you through that. We're going to unbox the bike, and then they're going to assemble it, and then we'll go on a first ride together, and I'll be putting on the first miles too. So really excited. Let's check it out. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for watching Adventure Moto Southwest. We are here today at Honda Powersports in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and it is new bike day for me. I'm going to be getting the CRF 300l Rally, and I'm really excited because Honda Powersports Albuquerque has agreed to let us go kind of behind the scenes, and we're going to take a look at the bike and see how it arrives to us from Thailand, where it's manufactured. And we're going to look at the way they package it and see how the crate looks and before they assemble it. And then they'll go ahead and put everything together and we'll go on a first ride together. So let's check it out. Here we go. All right, guys, welcome to the loading dock behind Honda Powersports Albuquerque. And here it is, the CRF 300 Rally in its box. This is how they come. If you have not seen it before, it's pretty fascinating. This is actually my first time seeing one in person, but yeah, they're made in Thailand, and I guess they all come in a big shipping container and make their way overseas to us. There's some kind of regional warehouse I was told that they all kind of live in, and then they get sent out to local dealerships. But here it is. So we're going to go ahead and unbox that and take a look. I'm told the battery is not installed, the handlebars are not installed, and then sometimes on the taller bikes like this, the wheels are also not installed. But you can kind of see, let's take a peek in here. There's the rear. And then in fact, there's the tire right there on the side. Let's take a look at the front. All right, and then here's a little peek into the front. You can kind of see those familiar fairings and colors there. But let's open up this box. So for our unboxing today, undo the straps. And I was told to just rip that was relatively easy, actually. Not too bad. Of course, unboxing is the easy part. But there she is. Beautiful. Look at that. So much shorter without a front wheel. So we're all seeing this for the first time together. Man, that chain will never be cleaner than that. I'll try, but... Nice, we got the helmet lock. Good looking machine. Looks like it's got some fluids in it already. I guess that's a thing. Don't see any damage. Looks like it's in perfect shape. And there's the front wheel. Kind of interesting the way they pack the handlebars here. Looks like they got the left grip kind of hard mounted to this frame. And then we got the forks attached down here. Yeah, and they've got this down to a science. And then just enough room to clear that front fender. I love the way this bike looks. However, I've always felt that this part here is a little bit goofy. Just 10% goofy. But that's okay. It's not going to stop me from purchasing this bike. I know I'm going to like it. All right, we're starting to get sprinkled on a little bit out here, so they're going to go ahead and move it out of the rain. I was just asking them what is the hardest part about putting everything together, and they said overall it's pretty easy. The hardest part, they said, is just hoisting it up to get that front wheel on. But luckily here they have some car lifts that they can actually just tie it over the handlebars and hoist it up and get the wheels on pretty quick. So the plan is I'm going to head to the bank and do the paperwork and go on that first ride. I will also mention, if you guys are ever in the area, definitely come check out Honda Powersports Albuquerque here on Renaissance. It's a great location, and actually the staff's super nice and really helpful. Go say hi to Caesar. I will mention that bikes that are a little harder to get, like the Rally and things like that, they tend to have them in stock a little bit more often than other dealers do. For example, when these SCLs were brand new and really hard to get, they had a couple. But yeah, pretty good selection, so come check it out if you ever get a chance or you're in the area. And here she is, guys. So excited. You have no idea. So this bike was just assembled, and they actually let me put the first mile on it. They just checked the air pressure, add the gas and the oil, and so I will be jumping on now for its first ever ride, first ever time turning it on even. So pretty cool. I've bought a few bikes in my day, but I've never had the opportunity to do this. So I'm really excited for that. I do want to show you guys that there is 0 miles on the odometer. Pretty cool, pretty special in terms of experiences. So hopefully you can see that. And right there, 0 miles. Amazing. So thank you again to Honda Powersports here on Renaissance in Albuquerque. Really appreciate you guys. This is a dream bike for me for sure, and so this will be a little bit of a first ride review as well. Couple things though as I ride this bike. One, as many of you guys know, the tires usually have like a mold release on them, so you usually have to take it easy for about the first 100 miles or so on them. And then secondly, combine that with the rain, so which it's not bothering me, it's just a drizzle, but I'll be going real slow, very cautious on this with those two things combined. But yeah, super excited. Here it is from the front. LED headlights looking good. So let's get on this thing and ride. Alright guys, like I said, 2024 CRF 300l Rally Edition, and we have the ABS model here. So ABS is controlled with the button right there on the dash, which is amazing. I have that on my Africa Twin as well, but you have to go into the menu on the screen to control it. So very refreshing to have the simplicity of this. So with that, here we go. 0 miles right there. Started right up, no issues. Just gonna listen to that motor for a second. I did notice the clutch with the slip assist clutch, unbelievably light. Like it felt almost just like grabbing air just now. That was amazing. So really enjoying the clutch feel. Since it is the first time it's on, I'm gonna see where that friction point is. Okay, yeah, it feels pretty similar to previous Hondas that I've had in the past. So, all right, away we go. Away we go on the 300L. Oh, so smooth. Close my visor here. I'm just gonna take a minute to take all this in. I will say that I love having a gear indicator. I'd say most of my bikes over the years have not had gear indicators on them, which is totally fine, but it's just one of those things. It's nice to have, just like a gas gauge. I'm coming off the XT250. That's kind of what this bike is going to be replacing, and no gas gauge there either, and you know, it's not a big deal. With that one, I know how many miles I can get. It's like 170 miles pretty much on the dot before it hits empty without using my reserve tank. And hey, a fellow motorcyclist riding through the rain. Nice. So pull up here a little bit, but anyway, yeah, it's just a nice to have fuel gauge. And you know, motorcycle fuel gauges in general are not going to be the most trustworthy. in general. That's just all motorcycles. But yeah, not a problem. But you know, you can definitely, you know, with these ones, I've had a couple on the Hondas, and you know, they're relatively accurate enough to tell you when to get fuel. So okay, like I said, taking it nice and slow on these brand new tires, and also in this rain. So we're taking corners in a very upright position for now, going easy on the engine. I'll have to look into what the braking is, but usually that's about 500-600 miles. You are riding conservatively and not holding any particular RPM steady for a long time. I usually like to see that. Also braking early, not just for the rain, but because the oh, we got rush hour traffic, nice. But also because the brake pads, from what I hear, need to be bedded in a little bit. So everything you just go slow to start. So my riding position, I can talk about that. It's the first thing I noticed. I have a much better standing position on this. I was standing up on it in the dealer, and I can pretty comfortably stand up on this. On the XT, I am leaned over. It's fine, it totally works, but I am leaned over. It's not as comfortable as the Africa Twin standing position, obviously. That's to be expected. That particular bike, I'm just upright as can be, enjoying. But this one, I'm a little leaned over, but it's definitely more comfortable. So standing position is good. The seat's a little wider than the XT250. It's not wide by any means. Man, a lot of motorcyclists out today in the rain. But definitely wider than I'm noticing. I can feel it in the insides of my thighs. So yeah, if you like a narrower seat as I do, this is going to be like medium. It's not like the widest for sure, but it's definitely not the narrowest. I think of like the Versys or the Ninjas. They have real narrow seats, and I find that comfortable. I can already tell there's more torque, even though I'm like crawling along here, just going real gentle with the bike. I can already tell there's more torque than the XT. Let's switch over lanes here. Do that again. Even though I'm just barely accelerating here, for sure, because you know, you've got that extra 50 cc's and it's already noticeable. I think this is going to be much better on the highway. Keep in mind, this bike and the XT are in no means a go ahead, sir, I don't know if you can see me or not, but they are by no means a highway bike. But you know, this one can actually do it. The XT, if I've taken it on the interstate before a couple times, but I am in the right lane going 65, and cars are flying by. So this one might be able to at least keep up with 70, maybe 75. I've heard varying reports on the top speed. But ergonomics and the overall position, I am upright. That's the way I like to be. I don't have any weight on my wrists, as expected with, you know, a handlebar like this, of course. It just feels good. It's noticeably light. In fact, I would say the light, you know, just moving the weight of the bike side to side in the dealership, walking it around, even now, just kind of doing that. It is definitely on par with the XT. I wouldn't worry about that, but I am up on the platform of my foot for sure. So when I am walking it around, things like that, or if I'm just at a standstill, it's best for me to put one foot down. I am up on the platforms, definitely. Not a big deal at all. I do feel my feet are still pretty planted though on the ground, and I am 5'11", just for reference. I didn't notice, I was watching Ian from Big Rock Moto's review, and actually every review I could find of this bike, and you know, there's that big suspension sag they all talk about. It wasn't as bad as I thought, but I think the reason I'm saying that is because I'm coming off of a very similar entry-level Japanese dual sport that had similar suspension sag. So for me, it's like, you know, I don't know what I don't know in terms of suspension. I'm used to these types of suspensions, so it's not really something that I'm noticing, but I'm sure it's there compared to a, you know, real performance sort of suspension. But yeah, the shifter just now, as I'm feeling that, is incredibly light. It just needs a very, very light tap with your foot to get up into the gears. So that's really, really nice and appreciated. So yeah, I requested that I put the first mile on the bike, and I know that's kind of a strange thing to ask, but it's just one of those weird, like, little requests where, like, if you're a motorcyclist, you get it. Like, these things are our babies, and we care about them, and, you know, it's like, you want to kind of see where, you want to know where it was at least I do. I'm weird. I want to know where it was manufactured and like how long ago, and you know, I'm always interested in what they're doing when they're servicing the bike. And you know, I love watching videos about the production process. There's some really cool videos on YouTube from Honda about how they manufacture the Africa Twins. Those are great. So yeah, stuff like that's fascinating to me. And so I asked him, you know, I bought a few bikes from them at this point, and I asked him this one time, can I see it in its crate? Can I put the first mile on it? And it's just a one-time thing, and it was nice. It was pretty special to be able to do that. That was a once-in-a-lifetime thing, because normally I wouldn't bother them with these requests, but it was kind of cool. And I don't always buy new either, so but it was really nice to be able to do that and see the bike and be the first one to turn it on and all that stuff. So quick standing position check here as we're riding. So super comfortable. Like I said, I am higher up right now than the handlebars are higher up than the XT. I can definitely feel that. Very comfortable. I could see myself standing and riding for a long time on the trails and whatnot. You know, I guess in the future I might consider maybe 1-inch handlebar risers. That would be good, but even that, it's like not even super necessary. And I'm 5'11", so just for reference, yeah, definitely good. I appreciate the windscreen. I also appreciate the height of the windscreen. I've had two bikes that have super tall windscreens. One of them is my Africa Twin, all the way up to here. I have the base model, but I replaced it with the OEM tall screen, which is about here. And then I have the Puig, whatever, however you say their name, extender. And that's also a nice thing to have, and it makes it like with that, like way up here, all the wind goes over my head. And actually sometimes it gets too hot behind that, especially in the summer. You want a little airflow, even on the highway, at least I do. So yeah, that's a little high, but it's good. And then you know, like my Harley Sportster has absolutely no wind protection. Same thing with the XT250. I do have a windscreen for it, but I don't use it. And yeah, absolutely no wind protection, and I actually prefer that. However, I would say this is the best of both worlds. Something I can see through. You know, I don't want to mess around with smoked or anything like that, so I need to be able to see through it for the trails. But this height's good. I don't think I would change it. I think this is going to stay. I like that it's got the accessory bar that you see right here, of course. That's going to be nice. I'm probably going to put my my phone there, because I'm going to go the quad lock route. I've been thinking about that for a while, and I think that's going to be, you know, I do, when I do backcountry discovery routes or any sort of trails where there's not a lot of cell phone service, I download the maps ahead of time, and I usually download tracks and things like that, and I follow those. And so currently on my XT I have a tank bag that has I can put the phone in, and that totally works. But I just wanted to like have it a little higher up and a little more in front of me. So yeah, that's probably what's going to go there. I have plans to do that, and then I have plans to put on heated grips as well. I do ride year round, and I think that will be a great benefit on this bike. I'm probably going to go with the Honda ones because they look a little cleaner on the install, although I like the value of the Oxfords for sure, and they get actually really hot, which is nice. Definitely going to go Bark Busters. I like the Tusk ones too. I have those on the XT, but I like the Bark Busters because the Storm, they have a different names for their this part. And the Storm model wraps around your hand a little bit more, and it actually blocks more wind. And I've used those and the Tusks in really cold weather, and I can tell you that makes a difference from keeping your hands from freezing off. So a little more protection there. And so I'll go with the Bark Busters for sure. Probably try to match the red, and then, or black maybe. But yeah, that's essential. Skid plate, that's essential. I'm not sure yet on engine guards. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do that or not. I know I should, but I'm trying to be conscious of weight on this bike. I like a light bike, and then I feel like if it's tipped over, you know, it's going to hit that Bark Buster first, and yeah, I could crack a fairing, but from what I hear, these fairings are not as expensive as other fairings sometimes are. So that's the plan there. Is potentially no engine guard, but I don't know. Let me know if you guys have any recommendations. Maybe lowers, but I'm not sure yet. So also, if you do have skid plate recommendations, I would love to hear them. I'm looking for something that is easily removed for oil changes or has the hole, you know, for the drain plug. That would be nice, preferable. And then this seat is okay. It's definitely hard, so I'm going to roll with it for now. But I'm a big fan of air hawks, which if you don't know what an air hawk is, it's a motorcycle inflatable seat. And you inflate it just enough so that it's squishy but not inflated all the way, and man, they're super comfortable. They allow for like blood flow down there, so you don't go numb. Highly recommend those things, love them. Okay, I'm feeling the suspension sag for sure now. I'm noticing it. I hear that I'm sitting at the light. If I put my weight on my feet and then I sit down, yeah, there's a good sag for sure. It's not anything that, again, that bothers me, because I don't have the taste for the performance suspension yet in my journey of off-road bikes, but yeah, I'm noticing it for sure. Personally, I'm almost thankful, because now, see, there's my foot, both feet on the ground, ball of my foot, plenty of contact with the ground. You know, if I need to paddle through something, maybe some sand, it's plenty for that. The handlebar, the turning, is incredibly light. I guess I'm also comparing it to certain bikes like cruisers, where, you know, there's a big rake where the front wheel is sticking out, and so you really feel the turn of the handlebars. But this one's not, you know, in comparison to that, obviously, it's not as raked out. So super light pull on or turn on the handlebars. Engine's nice and quiet. Yeah, good ergonomics, really nice overall. So it's been absolutely a pleasure to ride. I am just digging the ergonomics. Like, it feels like my XT250. However, the difference is my hands are spread out, more wide, relaxed, and then my knees are not so high. And I didn't mind it as much on the XT250. It is what many people consider to be cramped. It wasn't a huge deal. I've done thousands of miles with it, but it is nice to just be a little bit more in a neutral position. Already all dirty though. We've been riding in rain and getting splashed, puddles and whatnot, so all dirty, but absolutely amazing. Loving it. I noticed the kickstand's like extra low and like leaned over. I think that's a feature on purpose. I think the idea is if you're parked, you know, like on a trail and it's sideways a little bit, you're on at an angle, this might be preferable. That makes sense, but in general, every time I usually stand up on the peg and kick my leg over, and it feels like the bike's going to come out from underneath when I do that. Like, it's totally fine, but definitely I see why they did that, but you know, would have preferred, I guess, a little bit longer of a peg. But yeah, just been absolutely in love with everything about it. I can tell this, I'm going to be riding around standing up on this thing a lot. Like now, it's just so comfortable to be doing that. So I thought I would take it through Corrales right now, just to go. I keep wanting to like twist the throttle and just rip it a little bit, but I forgot I'm on the break-in period here. Anyway, thought I'd show you guys Corrales, New Mexico. Beautiful place. If you're ever in Albuquerque, this is a little, kind of like a little agricultural farming community sort of thing. Worth checking out, worth driving through at least. For how brown New Mexico can be, you get into this area and it is just green everywhere. I mean, obviously there's like brown there, but you're gonna notice big, huge trees, big cottonwood trees everywhere, and lots of farmland, and nice big houses too, which is really pretty. They have some cool restaurants down here too. So figured we'll cruise through here so you can kind of see as we do this first ride. Have not been home yet. Like I said, I was at the dealer and rode home through rush hour traffic on Alameda Boulevard here in Albuquerque, and I was just crawling along. So it's actually really nice to actually get the bike past 10 miles an hour. I'm still taking it easy though. We are taking corners slow with the new tires mainly. The road's pretty dry over here, so that's not really an issue, but yeah, definitely going to be conservative. If any of you guys have watched my other videos, you know I am a very conservative rider. I'm all about safety. Oh, I wish you could smell this. There is a smell that Corrales and the what's called the Bosque here has, which is our forested area that has the Rio Grande running through it. It is the air smells like, it's like a combination of freshly cut grass with like almost like a spiciness to it, like not quite cinnamon, cardamom, something like that. It's hard to describe. Definitely plant-like, but sweetish. You know, what it's very much like is actually sage. If you know what sage smells like, especially sage that is wet, has a very sweet, earthy smell, and that's what I'm getting all throughout this whole area. And the weather's perfect because it just rained, and so it is absolutely perfect temperature. I'm starting to dry off from being drenched earlier. Yes, beautiful. Also, I'm feeling these pegs, and they are typical stock pegs, a little narrower. Wouldn't mind something a little bit wider, that would be nice. And I definitely, see if they have rubber inserts. Yeah, I was gonna say they feel a little slippery with my feet being wet. And for bags, man, I've been going back and forth on this for months because I've had a long time to think about it. I think it's gonna be the Tusk Olympus bags, the same ones I have on my Africa Twin. They're about 40 liters each, and they're very versatile. They have exterior pockets as well. They're soft bags. I'm a person who prefers soft bags if the bike is going to be in any way, shape, or form going off-road, because if there's a drop, I don't want to crush my plastic or metal bags, and nor do I want the weight of those types of bags either. So yeah, going with the soft bags for sure on this bike. And then we're going to go Tusk Olympus because I like the bigger ones. I'm an overpacker, and when I go moto camping, I like to have my stuff. I like to have my big, well, it's not that big, it's a backpacking backpack, but, or a backpacking sleeping bag, but it's a big Agnes, I forgot what it's called. It's a -20 bag though, and man, that sucker keeps me warm. For the top case, probably going to be doing the Harbor Freight Pelican case knockoff, which are those hard shell plastic cases. I have one on the Africa Twin. I've had it there for a couple years, and it's been great. I rigged it up so it locks. Ultra cheap, very durable, and convenient. It's nice to have on your bike a flat surface, especially if you're commuting, because I meal prep, I bring my lunches, and it's nice to have my Tupperwares in there and flat and not turning on their sides and leaking all over. One of life's greatest pleasures is cruising on a motorcycle, one with good ergonomics in my case, and that is small. Love big bikes too, but little bike cruising and smelling the rain and the sweet earthy sage smells coming out of these plants. Nice cool weather, and yeah, that's just one of the best things that a human can do, in my opinion. And it is just so good for me mentally. Kind of everything else just melts away for a little bit. Something I like about Hondas is they have nice big buttons. All these buttons are very glove friendly. One of the many things that Honda has thought through. I'm a big Honda fanboy, if you couldn't tell. All right, I made it home and I cannot be happier with it. Definitely the honeymoon phase is going on right now, but I absolutely love it. So I looked into the break-in period for this, and it's actually very nice. I'm kind of used to the old school, like, you know, it used to be for like Japanese bikes, it was very common, like 300-400 miles, keep it under 4,000 RPM. And then until 600 miles, keep it under like 7,000 RPM. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that's kind of like how it was pretty commonly. But yeah, now it's just for 300 miles, ride conservatively. That's it. It just says don't accelerate too hard, don't brake too hard. But yeah, that's a pretty easy, 300 miles is nothing too. So really excited about that. I don't know if it's true of this bike, but I've heard at times that they do a little bit of braking at the factory. I'm not sure if that's a myth or not, but that may be part of it. But yeah, that's what a great break-in. And then for the first service, 600 miles, all I have to do is just do the oil change and replace the filter. There's no inspecting. I will anyway. I'm just going to check all the bolts and stuff like that anyway. But usually it has you inspect a bunch of different things. But yeah, it's a pretty easy first service. And the other thing that's nice is, man, the valves aren't for a long time. If I remember, it was like 14, 15, maybe 16,000. So you don't do valves for a long time. And that is very nice. You clean the spark arrestor a couple times and you change the oil and you just, yeah, very easy. So anyway, here's the garage. I have a problem. Definitely have an issue with bikes. And I'm definitely going to be eating ramen and ice cube soup for the next few months to catch up financially from this. But man, so worth it. So the plan is, this is a replacement for that. And I sat on this one just now, and yeah, very comparable, little lighter for sure, lower seat height, but yeah, this is about exactly what I expected. Taller, a little bigger, slightly heavier, but still extremely light, especially for how big and tall it looks. Like, it's surprisingly light. Like, it looks fat from the front here, but then when you're standing here, it's so skinny. It's so interesting, but it's like an optical illusion. But the XT, it looks skinny from the front and it looks skinny from the back. So interesting, the Honda. And I'm not going to pretend like I wasn't inspired a little bit by Itchy Boots here. I was like, man, if she can ride all over the whole world with this bike, then surely I can get around New Mexico. That's kind of the thought process. Lighter is better for me. And I don't know. I mean, I love the Africa Twin. Like, for as far as big bikes, this is the ultimate for me. And I don't know if I want to get rid of it, but it's just, I feel like if I'm going to go far, I'm going to take this. If I'm going to go far and go on a big adventure, I want to be able to get into some deeper woods and forests and stuff like that. And my skill level, I wouldn't feel as comfortable taking this too deep into single track and stuff like this. But this, absolutely, yes, no problem. So we'll see. Plan is to keep this for a while too, the Harley Sportster 48, mainly just because I love that paint job. I know it's a dumb reason, but us motorcyclists are vain, and it's true. You can't deny it. It's how the bike looks. And so that's a big reason for it. But yeah, this is the current lineup. But the only move that's happening for sure is I'm going to do some reviews comparing, but then this one I'll sell. But yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, fantastic bike, easy break-in, really comfortable. The seat did get hard, by the way. I was in traffic for about 45, 50 minutes, and yeah, butt was starting to hurt. So I'll put the AirHawk on here. That's this thing right here. That pad. That helps a lot. It's probably the cheapest way to get absolutely very comfortable seating without having to spend $500 on a replacement seat. But for now, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Gonna have a lot of videos coming up pretty soon. Like I said, I'll do a comparison between those two, the XT and the Rally. But yeah, stick around for that, and got a lot of rides planned. So we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you.